Hey, it's Kurt at the Top Corner Hockey Studios, Top Corner Hockey on Facebook, Top Corner Kurt on Instagram. Thanks for watching. For the first time, what seemed like forever, there was a huge hit in the NHL, and there wasn't a ton of controversy surrounding it. Saturday afternoon in Buffalo, Sabres defenseman Jake McCabe leveled Winnipeg Jets rookie star Patrik Laine with his head down and crunches Laine with a beauty right at center ice. I thought it was terrific. Even in real time, you could tell that the hit was not a late or a dirty hit. McCabe didn't jump. There was no elbow. It wasn't late, as I said. It didn't target the head. McCabe didn't exactly lead with the shoulder like you normally see, but it wasn't a dirty hit. It was clean. Even the Jets say it was clean. It's unfortunate that Laine is now out with a concussion, but Patrik Laine is hardly the first NHL star to be nailed with a massive hit. Here are my top 10 NHL superstars getting hit hard. Number 10, Marty McSorley on Doug Gilmour. This was an emotional one for Toronto fans. The Leafs were the NHL's biggest story during the spring of 1993. In a little over a year, Doug Gilmour had taken the Maple Leafs from laughs to Stanley Cup contenders. In Game 1 of the Campbell Conference Finals, Toronto was winning 4-1, and Gilmour had 2 goals and 2 assists. Late in the game, Dougie was cutting into the middle and McSorley smashes him. McSorley might have got the elbow in there a bit, but nevertheless a huge blow to the Maple Leafs' best player. This hit sparked a big hit between McSorley and Wendell Clark. Gilmour was okay. He had 35 points in 21 playoff games. Number 9, Vladimir Konstantinov on Dale Hawerchuk. After 16 seasons, future Hall of Famer Dale Hawerchuk was playing out his final season of his career in Philadelphia, chasing the Stanley Cup. The Flyers had finished 4th overall in 96-97. Philadelphia caught fire in the 97 playoffs and made it all the way to the Cup Finals in only 15 games. However, Detroit was also on a roll, and the two met for all the marbles. During the Wings' 4-game sweep of Hawerchuk and the Flyers, Red Wings defenseman Vladimir Konstantinov smokes Ducky at center ice, sending the Hall of Famer to the ground with a thump. Give Hawerchuk credit, he got right back up, straightened his lid, and kept going. Number 8, Peter Forsberg on Joe Nieuwendyk. One goal scorer destroys another. Joe Nieuwendyk was playing in just his second season in Dallas after nearly a decade in Calgary. Dallas was loading up for the Stanley Cup, and Nieuwendyk was going to help them get there. But in 1997, Joe got demolished by Colorado's Peter Forsberg. Known for playing a complete game, Forsberg could score, skate, and dish it out, which he does to perfection here. Nieuwendyk would miss about 20 games that season because of the hit, but still scored 30 goals that year. Both are now in the Hockey Hall of Fame. Number 7, Mark Messier on Mike Modano. Although he was second in all-time points when he retired, Mark Messier was no sweetheart. The Moose could really dish out the punishment. In 1994, Messier and the Rangers were in Dallas taking on Mike Modano and the Stars. The Rangers were in first place, but the Stars were no pushover, and Modano was in the middle of a great career year. On this play, you can see Modano coming into the Rangers zone when Messier drills him on a flyby. Modano was out cold and had to go to the hospital, but somehow the Dallas paramedics drop him. Mike was okay. He scored 50 goals that season. Number 6, Eric Lindros takes a trio of beauty hits. Despite his great size and strength, Hall of Famer Eric Lindros took some mighty big hits during his career. Perhaps the first really big one he took was in 1995 when Pittsburgh's Alfie Samuelsson creams him here. Then in 1998, Casper the Friendly Ghost, Darius Kasparaitis, nails him with this hit, putting the Big E on the shelf. But no question, the biggest hit Lindros took was from the Devils' Scott Stevens. A football player on skates, Stevens could be the hardest hitter in the history of the NHL. In Game 7 of the 2000 Eastern Conference Finals, Stevens delivers this hit to Lindros that not only rings his bell like the Hill Valley Clock Tower, but also signaled the beginning of the end for Lindros' shortened career. Number 5, Bill Gatsby on Tim Horton. According to old-timers, this is the hardest hit of all time. During the 1960-61 season, 7-time All-Star and Hockey Hall of Famer Bill Gatsby demolishes 6-time All-Star and Hockey Hall of Famer Tim Horton. Gatsby playing for Detroit here and Horton with Toronto. Horton was a great skater, and even though he was a defenseman, he didn't mind carrying the puck. You can see him bringing the puck into the Detroit zone when Gatsby crushes him. Horton suffered a broken jaw and leg on this hit. Number 4, Willie Mitchell on Jonathan Toews. Vancouver Canucks hard-nosed defenseman Willie Mitchell was ready for the 2009-2010 season. Just a couple of weeks into the schedule, Vancouver was in Chicago, and Mitchell demolishes the young Blackhawks superstar Jonathan Toews with a beauty hit at center ice. I remember at the time this hit getting dissected like never before, and I never understood why. There's nothing wrong with this hit. Toews even said so himself. For some reason, Mitchell was penalized for the hit. But you can't keep a good Winnipeg boy down, and Toews not only tries to get up off the ice himself, but he scored 25 goals that year and led Chicago to their first Stanley Cup in 49 years. Number 3, more Scott Stevens severities. Eric Lindros isn't the only NHL star Scott Stevens crunched with a huge body check. Remember this one on Vyacheslav Kozlov in the 1995 Stanley Cup Finals? Kozlov looks like he's had a few. In the 2001 playoffs, Scott drilled Ronnie Franchise with a massive check that sent the future Hall of Famer to the ice like a bag of dirt. But Ron Franchise is from the Sioux, and there's no way he was going to stay down. Perhaps the most popular hit, though, of Stevens' career came in 2003 in the Stanley Cup Finals against Anaheim. In Game 6, with the Ducks leading 3-1 and trying to stay alive in the series, Paul Kariya took the puck at center ice and dished off a backhand pass. Watching his pass, Kariya took 2 full strides before he was smoked by Stevens with a late hit. Kariya was KO'd for a couple seconds and left the game, but amazingly returned to the ice later on, scored a goal, and helped Anaheim reach Game 7. Number 2, Bill McCreary Jr. on Wayne Gretzky. Billy McCreary was a 20-year-old rookie with the Toronto Maple Leafs during the 1980-81 season. Toronto was in Edmonton on January 3rd, 1981, taking on Wayne Gretzky and the Oilers. Playing in just his 12th career game, McCreary catches 99 with his head down and levels the great one along the Edmonton blue line. A clean hit for sure, and probably the hardest hit of Gretzky's career. Funny thing though, McCreary never played another shift in the National Hockey League. Wayne didn't miss any playing time. Number 1, this is the hits of hits. Pat Quinn rocks Bobby Orr. At 6'3" and 215 pounds, Pat Quinn was a giant on skates in the 60s. On this play, Orr is using his blazing speed to carry the puck out of the Bruins zone when Quinn steps up and decks Orr. Quinn's size and Orr's speed collide with the force of tectonic plates, sending both players flying. It looks to me like Quinn uses his elbow a bit, but even Orr has said he doesn't believe Quinn had any malintent. This hit led to a huge brawl that even included the fans of the Boston Garden. Orr was okay. He became the first defenseman in 24 years to score 20 goals that season. That's my top 10 biggest hits on NHL superstars. Other than Scott Stevens on Paul Kariya, I thought every one of them was clean as a whistle. And even the Stevens on Kariya wasn't horribly wrong. It was late, but not horribly wrong. But what do you think? What do you think are the biggest hits ever delivered to NHL superstars? Would you rearrange my list at all? Did I miss anything? Please continue to like and subscribe. I'm Kurt. This is Top Corner Hockey. Thanks for watching. See you next time.